Hello and welcome back to another episode of Gilded Destinies here on Heroes and Hooligans. We're excited to have you back for our third episode and our first combat. Giving us our recap from last week will be Zenlin. Zenlin, why don't you go ahead and do that for us?
Sure, it definitely seems like we're heading for combat. So we picked up, I believe, right after we signed on with Boar, our new business partner slash founder of the Bruxhaven Trading Company, who essentially said what we needed to do was make a new rail line. So Jolly pulled out a map and mapped us out a route that we were planning to take, as Boar introduced us to a little metal creation that he was giving us that was going to help us lay the railroad as we went, whom we later named Beep. And just as we were getting ready to leave, Boar got a knock on his door where he got a letter. And he looked a little distraught over it. So I believe Coca-Cola asked him what was up, and he kind of brushed it off and said, just some old business associates want to meet up, and told us to go enjoy our night and then come back in the morning before we headed out, so that we could get any last minute things that we needed. He gave us the first portion of our upfront payment, and we headed out. Zenlin made his way toward the library with Jolly and Reznor, and not that we knew it, but Coca-Cola was also with us as we made our way to the library. Where he looked up some information about a cure. We met a nice student that gave us our directions, got all of our names, I think, except for Reznor's, including the robot. Jillian, on the other hand, went to get some herbs and supplies that she would need before coming back to the inn and meeting up with us. We woke up in the morning and had breakfast, heard some rumors about what may or may not have happened with Coca-Cola in her house. There was some tense words before Boar showed up. And after talking some more, we explained that our plan would require us to establish ourselves. I believe it was in Revan. And we might need a little more upfront payment just so that we could really get ourselves established. And Boar agreed and took us to essentially a hidden safe in the market district, where we were getting that upfront payment when Boar kind of froze and just kind of stared over our shoulder at something behind us.
All right.
I think that catches
With that wonderful recap. Yeah, with that wonderful recap, go ahead and take a point of inspiration for yourself. And everyone roll initiative, please. I will say you are not actively in combat, but in case anyone wants to take any actions to boost themselves in any way.
Can we see anything? We can.
Yeah, you. If you turn from looking at Boar, everyone can go ahead and give me a perception check.
We're indoors, right?
You are outdoors on a skyway market. So what you're on here is a bridge, about 35 feet wide at its widest points, closer to 25 to 30 at the thinner points, with little market stalls offset in each of these round semicircles hanging off the edge. You are about, you'd guess, 500 feet in the sky right now.
Okay.
It is a long way down. There are many other buildings and bridges beneath you that you could potentially hit if you fall off the edge here, but you cannot see the ground past the whirling smog of the city. And as you turn to look behind you, you see a small halfling wearing chain armor and with a sword drawn at his side, and just behind him, a large, menacing ogre. Familiar to one of you, in fact. As we see here, Brian Linestorm and Grug the Poet. Did we get those perception checks?
18?
18?
Nat 1 for 5 total.
All right. So you've got 25. I will say you're not in direct sunlight currently. It's early enough. It is early enough in the morning. The sun is not crested over the edges of the towers of Sharn yet.
Then it's a 17.
All right. So yeah, you see these two figures, and the backs of your necks prickle a bit. You have the feeling that this isn't all that's here. You don't see anything else yet, but you don't feel like this is the only presence.
I would like to. Can we do some pre?
Yeah. Feel free to act freely for now.
I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Detect thoughts. All right, and that is an action.
It is an action.
All right.
It is one action, and what I would like to do first is detect the presence of thinking creatures that I cannot see.
All right. You definitely detect the presence of thinking creatures you cannot see. Does that give you a number? Does it just give you the presence?
Okay, let me read this here.
Here,
okay.
Okay.
Presence of thinking creatures with an S that you cannot see. You cast a spell. You can search for thoughts within 30 feet, so they should be within 30 feet. It can penetrate barriers except 2 feet of rock or 2 full inches of metal. Okay, that will block it. If I detect a creature in this way, I can read its thoughts for the rest of the duration. Okay.
All right.
So
yeah.
Yep.
You detect the thoughts of multiple creatures within range.
Okay.
At least 3, maybe 5 that you can't see. It's a little hard to tell.
And what are the surface thoughts of these creatures?
Hide. Mustn't be seen. Surprise them. Take them all. Rend. Flesh. And from... I'm assuming you're doing a wide scan of the surface thoughts of all the creatures in the area.
I would call this like
including
a vibe check.
Brian.
You know, you walk into a crowded dining car, crowded bar car, and you're trying to see, like, you know, do we have any troublemakers here? You know, is there anybody here that's maybe a little tipsy? What are the vibes like? You know, am I catching some?
Threatening. Grug doesn't seem to have any particular attitude right now. He's just kind of here. He's stay behind the boss, stay big.
And can I say something to Grug?
Yeah, feel free. Does anybody else have anything they want to do as well?
I have blind sight within 10 feet of me and of my space. So if any of your little invisible friends are poking around within that range, then I want to know where they are.
You do not detect anyone within 10 feet of you other than your allies that you already knew are present.
Okay, good.
All right. What would you like to say to Grug?
I say, the poet. It feels like I just saw you this morning. I figured you'd be going home and going to sleep. This is
Got work to
guys,
do.
This is the poet I was telling you about. Amazing talent, just one of the finest talents. Tell me again that fourth stanza. What was that about? I was just telling my friends about what an amazing performance.
Go ahead and make me a deception check with advantage. To try to sell your admiration.
It's a 19.
All right. Well, the one about following orders, it was pretty good. Yeah, following orders ain't always fun, but the boss knows what's best. And yeah. Well,
Yes, there was a subtext to it. There was a subtext.
Shut up! The halfling opens his mouth and shouts out, "Boar, my money? I see you've got some there." And anyone who looks back at Boar sees him just shaking, coin pouch in his hand.
Zenlin will step up and be like, well, you see, the funny thing about that is that's not his money. That's our money. And we don't owe you anything.
The old man owes too many people money around here, I guess. But I've got a bit more muscle behind me than you do, so I think I'll be collecting my debt first.
You can certainly try. Give him a fancy flash, and my daggers will be fancy flashing too.
All right.
So we're not. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, so we're not in initiative order with our actions right now.
No, I just wanted to have your initiatives up. Everyone is aware of each other at this point and prepared for action.
I was about to say, at the him yelling at Jolly and then saying he's got more muscle, Reznor is going to get probably about 5 to 10 feet closer to him and say, I don't like how you're talking to my friends.
All right. And that is where we'll start our initiative order with that movement.
Yes!
You can go ahead and take half of your movement speed. All right.
Did we get a count on how many hiding creatures there were? Half a dozen?
At least 3 up to half a dozen.
Okay.
It was hard to tell with all of the thoughts being so similar and one track while you're scanning over them. But yeah, with that, we'll start at the top of our initiative order. As coming up from behind you, you smell something foul. Something rotting. And anyone who turns sees a series of gnolls run marching straight for you. Coca-Cola, it is going to take a javelin from its side and thrust it at you, and thrust it towards you, letting go and letting it sail. Does a 17 hit you?
Meets it, beats it.
All right. You're going to take 6 piercing damage as the javelin scrapes across your side. That is the end of its turn. The turn order will now pass to you, Coca-Cola.
That's just what I wanted to hear. I dig it. love it. You said 6 damages. Okay. I'm bright and shiny and forgot to cast my mage armor this morning, so that's awesome. So we'll pass on that for now. And I will go for the one that just attacked. And he can get double dagger. So 14 to hit for the first one.
All right. A 14 hits.
Okay, for 6 damages. And the second one is going to be a 22. Or not
That is
very
a hit.
many damage. 5 damage.
All right. That is
And
a good blow.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
sorry,
not
what was
close
that?
enough. I was needing to look at the map. He's not very close yet, so
No, he's still about 10 feet out from you and your allies.
I'm going to be moving about right here. Okay. And that will be end of turn for me.
All right. So you're going to move to right there. And end of turn. That'll go to Jillian.
All right. Jillian is going to assess the situation, and she is going to cast Spiritual Weapon. Oh.
Wonderful. All right. Let's get you a token for your spiritual weapon on the board. I think I've got one on here.
All right.
What form does Jillian's spiritual weapon take? As a cleric of the peace.
It looks like a little bunny rabbit.
A little rabbit? Wonderful.
Little bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think as Jillian reaches into this place of faith within her and draws out the magic, this little rabbit comes flying to chase down her foes and bring them peace, whether they wish it or not. Let me see if I have a rabbit token. Would you? All right. What is there? Anything else Jillian's going to do with her action?
Yeah, she is going to move. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. She is going to move 5, 10. She's going to move 5, 10, 15. Let's see, what is the square? Who is that? She's going to move right in front of Jolly.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. And is she close enough? Yeah, she's. So that'd be 5, 10, 15. Oh, that'd be 20 feet so that she could attack the knoll that's there that just threw the spear. And she is going to draw her mace and try to hit with her mace. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
All right. For 4 damage.
4 damage. Wonderful.
Yeah. Don't touch my
and
friends.
then you do get to take a swing with your spiritual action as part of cast, or with your spiritual weapon as part of casting it. Do you want to do that as well?
Oh yes. Let's spiritual weapon does.
I'm looking for the token here. My bad.
12 damage with the spiritual weapon.
So that's a 12 to hit. So that wait, no, that's a D8 plus 4. Go ahead and make me a spell attack to see if you hit.
Alrighty. Big number, please. Woof.
That's a hit.
23 to hit.
There we go. That is a killer hit. Doing 16 total damage to this knoll this round.
And that is the end of my turn.
This knoll, with the combination of the blow from your mace, the 2 daggers tossed at it, and your spiritual weapon with the little rabbit leaping up and ripping at its throat with its fangs, leaves this knoll heavily bloodied. Right. Turn will pass to Zenlin.
As this all breaks out, Zenlin's going to just shake his head and he's going to say, the problem with muscle is it never understands when it's outgunned. And he's going to point a finger and cast a fireball at these 3 gnolls in the back coming up.
Wonderful. So that is dexterity
Fireball
saving
has
throws for
entered the
them.
chat. First session.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not DPS, and then like this happened. I was like, there's 3 of them right there. It's perfect situation.
What could possibly go wrong?
All right, so that is dex saving throws for all of them. What is your spell save DC?
Spell save is 15. And it's a
All right.
20-foot radius sphere, so yeah, it'll be the 3 in the back.
Uh,
Trying to avoid
you could
where
catch
possible.
all. Okay, you're trying to avoid hitting people.
Yeah,
so,
he's
got it.
trying to be conscious that there's other people's things around here, and he should probably not just blow up a bridge floating hundreds of feet in the sky.
Yeah. All right, that is 3 failures. Go ahead and give me damage.
Oh. That is 22 fire damage to all of them.
All right. The 2 in the front take the full force of the damage and look like they are barely standing, while the one in the back motions with its hands quickly, throwing a shield of reddish energy over itself. Your fire still seems to seep through, but not to full effect.
Good to know. That's
Right.
that's his turn.
That is going
He's
to
not
go
going to move.
All right, that is going to go to the knoll all the way in the back, as he reaches towards this crystal in front of him, and chants in a language I don't believe any of you speak. Does anyone speak Knoll? Just to check.
No, sir.
All right, he lets forth a guttural chant before transitioning to a sound almost like the laughing of a hyena, as a bolt of reddish-black energy comes out of the crystal. It shoots directly for you, Zenlin. Does a 19 hit your AC? Zenlin?
Oh, Don.
Yes, it does. And I'm
All
not
right.
going to shield because it doesn't make a difference.
That's rough.
It happens.
All right, you are going to take 5 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
You cannot use reactions until the end of your next turn.
That is rough.
All right. Turn goes to... All right. The 2 gnolls in front, both of whom are going to follow the example of their leader and rush straight forward, throwing javelins with them. One is aimed at you, Jillian. Another one is aimed at you, Coca-Cola. Jillian does a... No, I'm not even going to ask. I know it doesn't hit you. Does a 16 hit you, Coca-Cola?
Negatory Ghost Rider.
Alrighty. Neither of these javelins makes their mark, skittering off the stone below them. And the turn will pass to Jolly.
I look at Grug and I say, you know, I like that line about the boss, but Honestly, though, I think you're too talented for it. I really think you can do better. Here, let me adjust. Let me just put this. You could be something special, Grug. I cast Crown of Madness. That'll be a Wisdom 14 for Gruggy.
All right, Wisdom 14 for Grug.
Yep.
This is not going to go great for him, I do not believe.
Good old Gruggy.
Oh. As the crown begins to materialize onto Grug's head, you see he shakes. I'll work for the boss! And is able to use his boss's wisdom modifier in place of his own, giving him a 16. Does that beat your save DC?
Yep. 14. Okay.
It does seem as though you sapped at his mental fortitude, though. You don't think he can do this forever.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything else you'd like to do with your turn, Jolly? Any movement, bonus actions?
Yes. Yes. I would like to. What would I like to do? Of course I would. Would I? Would I, though? Yes. I'm going to, I am do a bardic inspiration for Reznor. Reznor,
All right.
you got this. I believe in you. You've killed wyverns, 2 wyverns. You got this. I believe in you.
Reznor will look back and he'll give his thumbs up and a big smile.
All right, it's that end of turn for you, Jolly.
I definitely point to the boss because I still think I can win this talented poet over.
All right. Reznor, the turn will pass to you, as Jolly's encouragement does as well. What's your bardic inspiration die, Jolly?
So that will add a 1d8 to an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
All right.
Awesome
Yeah,
one.
so-
Yeah.
Sometime in the next 10 minutes, so you don't have to use it right away. It can be added after seeing the roll, but before knowing the outcome.
Oh, dope. All right. So Reznor will give Jolly the thumbs up and a smile. But as he turns back to the boss, he is going to rage.
All right, use your bonus action to rage. Wonderful.
Bonus action rage. And as he rages, he's going to get really serious and say, "Where is your strength?" And he's going to move to the guy, to the person.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to. I'm assuming we have all our weapons and stuff here, right?
Yeah, you have all your gear.
Okay. I'm going
You're
to
getting ready to set out.
I'm going to make a swing with. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this in D&D Beyond. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to make a swing with my great axe at this guy.
All right. Wonderful.
I'm going to use the D8 Bardic Inspiration on that.
All right.
So 1d8. Roll. 16.
Unfortunately, that is a miss. As your axe comes down and just clatters off the armor he wears. He grins up at you. I don't just have the muscle. I've got my own skills too. And as a reaction, he is going to riposte. And misses horribly.
So you riposted.
I do believe at level 5 you have extra attacks. You make 2 attacks, correct?
Yes. I'm just gonna make another attack with my great axe. That is a 19.
That is a hit. Go ahead and give me some damage here. And you are raging, so make sure you add that as well.
So 9, 13. Plus 2, so 15. And I also have Divine Fury. So the first creature I hit on each of my turns with a weapon attack takes 1d6 plus 2 radiant damage.
All right, go ahead and give me that as well.
1d6. Roll. So that's 8 more damage.
Wonderful. With one cleave of your axe, you score a massive strike across the breastplate of his armor, and you can hear the metal rend a bit as he is, though still standing, heavily wounded by this blow.
That'll be the end of Resnor's turn.
All right. At the end of Resnor's turn, Brian will heft his greatsword in hand again, and looking directly at you, swing to hit you with it twice. With a 22 on the first attack.
Yep.
All right. For 8 damage.
8 damage.
And a 15 on the second attack.
That does not hit.
This is slashing damage, non-magical.
Oh.
All right, wonderful. Make sure you're getting your resistance to that as well, since it's non-magical slashing.
Yeah, so it's only 4. Gotcha.
And you're raging.
Oh.
Yep. All right. After that, the turn will pass to Grug the Poet. Who will stomp forward, stand right next to his master, bringing heavy fists down upon you. The first fist swings wild. Looks like he was trying to make sure he didn't make contact with Brian, and missed both of you as a result. And the second one strikes true, dealing you 15 bludgeoning damage.
15 bludgeoning. So is that 7 or 8? Sorry. Since I'm taking half.
That would be 7. Always run down.
Gotcha.
All right. Back to the top of the order with the Knoll leader. Now Jillian and Coca-Cola both directly in front of him, and his allies at his back. The Knoll begins to bark loudly in a laughing manner as both of the smaller gnolls behind it use their reactions to move up 10 feet. and attempt to bite each of you. That is a miss on Coca-Cola and a miss on Jillian. Coca-Cola, it is your turn.
She's gonna smile her biggest dwarven smile. She's gonna look to Jillian and back to the knoll, and she's gonna say, "Prepare for trouble. Make it double." And I'm gonna hit him terribly, hopefully hard. Well, that one doesn't hit. Fuck that. That one will. Okay. So 21 to hit for some damages. 8 and.
All right, and which knoll are you targeting here?
The big guy who was pretty beat up.
The big guy.
Yeah.
All right. All three of these are very beat up. 2 of them from the firewall and 1 from you and Jillian's combined efforts.
Well, I don't like this guy barking at his dog friends and making them come close to me, so fuck him. It is going to be 15 total damages.
All right. 15 damage is not inconsiderable. He is still standing, though.
Of course he is. I think that is it. No, I lied. I'm going to action surge.
Wonderful.
And we're going to do this again. That is 26 to hit.
That's a hit. And I'm fairly certain you automatically knock him down.
6 damage from the first.
Yep, with 6 damage, you knock him down. He is out.
And so my second weapon attack on that will go to the one directly in front of me. And I think 13. Does that miss or hit him?
All right. That will be... Sorry, this is on the knoll there directly in combat with you? That is a miss.
The one right... Okay. So that will now be EOT for me.
All right. And just to check, Coca-Cola has extra attack then? I wasn't sure with the multi-class.
She has 2 weapon fighting, which on an action, I can use both weapons. So if I second wind, I can hit one more time. So 3. So I did one too many. Here you go.
That's all right. I was just checking. You hit on the third one anyways. But yeah. So after you, we will go to Zenlin or Jillian. Sorry.
Jillian's going to attack the one that's directly in front of Coca-Cola with her mace.
All right.
24 to hit.
That is a crit. I'm going to tell you right now, you are dealing more damage than it has health left no matter what. What do you want to do with this guy?
She's going to really bash his head in really hard with her mace.
Yeah, you see that he already has a seam along the side of his face where his skull was clearly split open by a blow before, and your mace comes down on it and re-shatters the poorly healed fracture in the skull as he drops to the ground dead.
Right. And then with her bonus action, she's going to use her spiritual weapon to attack the other guy that is on her left.
Yep.
And okay.
That is going to be a miss, unfortunately.
And end of turn.
All right, that was a wonderful turn from our two up there at the top of the order there. Zenlin, it is back to you.
Yeah. Zenlin's gonna take like one or two steps forward and look around because he saw that crystal glow. And he's gonna cast Magic Missile, one at this front knoll and then two at the spellcaster knoll and back.
Wonderful. The front knoll drops automatically.
And it's
And
4
the
per
back
dart.
knoll takes 8 damage. As he maintains concentration on the spell affecting you.
Oof. And that is the end of my turn.
All right. As it comes back around to the spellcasting knoll in the back, you see him lay his hands upon the crystal again, and a spell that some of you've seen before rushes forth, splitting along the facets of the crystal so that it fires forth multiple times. It looks like there are multiple chromatic orbs flying out of this crystal. One targeting Zenlin, one targeting Jolly, and one targeting Reznor. Zenlin does a 16 hit.
Did I get my reaction back?
You did get your reaction back at the end of your turn.
So then I'm casting shield and it does not hit. I have an 18 with shield.
All right. Jolly does a 22 hit.
Just barely, only by 6. So close.
All right. And Reznor, I know that an 8 does not hit you.
Mm.
All right. So Jolly, you are going to take 15 points of fire damage.
Cool. All right, now we're talking. Now it feels like a battle.
Right.
All right. Turn will go to Jolly, as all of the melee rolls have fallen.
You know, Grug, I gotta say, I know you'd like me to drop it and let you just go back to your day job, but I think if you this is just my suggestion, if you just gave your boss a hug and whispered that amazing poem in his ear while you hugged him, he would understand the talent that you have. He would probably command you maybe, to get back out there and perform your poetry in front of people. So that's my suggestion. Make a save. Wisdom save 14.
All right. As Grug thinks about what you said, Brayan utters a command to him. Grug, I already give you time off for your poetry. Stay with me here. And Grug will be able to add a d4 to a saving throw. Which does not matter with a natural 1.
You just gotta wrap him up and whisper that poetry into his ear, and he'll understand, buddy.
All right. And this was another Crown of
Suggestion.
Thorns? Or suggestion?
No, suggestion.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Just my suggestion.
All right. All right. That is it for you. Are you doing any movement or any bonus actions?
I look back to Reznor and I say, Reznor, I believe in you. I know you got this, buddy. You got it. You got this. And another bardic inspiration to Reznor.
All right. Reznor, it is your turn.
So at the inspiration now, Reznor is gonna glare at the halfling and say, "See how nice Jolly is. You were so mean." And he's gonna go for another 2 attacks.
All right.
That's a 12.
A 12 will miss.
Oof.
Alright, I need some new dice. That's an 11.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the inspiration actually.
You want to use it on the 12?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it on the 12.
Sure. I'll allow that.
Oh, 18.
He is restrained,
All right.
right? Oh, no, he's not
So that
yet.
bumps you up to, that bumps you up to an 18.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Alright. So I get +2 melee damage with strength weapons. So. Alright, that's a 15 plus 2, so a 17 plus
Plus your Divine Fury.
Yep. Which, if I can find where that went, that'd be great. Oh, there it is. A 6. So a total of 21.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, Brian does not seem to be standing at this point very well. He's wobbling on his feet. And you do see that that as he goes to swing back at you on his turn, his arm shakes a bit.
I'm gonna go ahead and real
As he
quick.
misses his.
Sorry, I should
yeah.
have said this earlier. I was gonna shift as a bonus action.
No, of course. You're good. Yeah, sure. All right. He does miss wildly on that first swing. Sets his grip again and goes for his second swing with his greatsword, and that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right. You take 10 slashing damage, half to 5.
Okay. So with shifting, I get 8 temp HP. Just I don't think it shows in the thing overhead.
You're good. All right. That is, and he is going to attempt to move away from you. One moment. We have Grug selected here.
Right into Grug's arms.
He is attempting to move further back than Grug currently is. But you do have the opportunity to use your reaction for an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Yes, I would. So,
All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
That is a 25.
That is a hit.
For
As
9 damage.
all right, as you lash out with your axe, as he scurries away between Grug's legs, you catch him in his back, and he falls to the ground, unconscious and unstable.
As he goes down, Reznor is going to look up to Grug and be like, "You look strong."
It is Grug's turn. And with that suggestion, he is going to go make a grapple on his now unconscious leader, which I am going to count as an unarmed attack. Grug does miss. He will not cause Brayan to undergo 2 death saves. We are back at the top of the order. Coca-Cola, Jillian, Zenlin, and then the spellcaster. There's only one enemy left standing, who is not under control.
Yeah, it's this little guy over here, this purple one by the crystal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, damn, he's far from me. What's my movement? Not that much. Wow, little dwarf legs. I got 50 feet to move, and that is it. But
So each of these squares is 5 feet.
Oh.
So you can definitely make it up to him with your bonus action dash.
that's what I'll do. Bonus action dash. And then, since my bonus action, I'll just do a little swing and not a miss. Please don't be a miss. No, it's not going to be. 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
For 10 damages.
All right, that is a solid amount of damage. He is still standing. Jillian.
My God. All right, Jillian's going to move forward 25 feet to get closer to the target. Doesn't quite get her all the way there. 10, 15, 20, 25 right there. And then is this her spiritual weapon right there? I don't know if that's her spiritual weapon. Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. 60 feet,
It is.
I think is. Okay. 5.
You can move
10,
it. I think it's 30. I thought.
Okay. I guess all right. I don't
Check
get it.
quick.
I doesn't get that far then.
60. I haven't played a cleric in a while.
Let's see. Gets her closer. Let's see. Ranged weapon. She does have a crossbow. If the spiritual weapon won't make it, she does have a crossbow that she could aim at.
You can move the spiritual weapon 20 feet on your turn.
Oh, okay. I
with your
moved it
bonus
too much.
action.
All right, let's move it back.
That's all
That's
right.
as far as it goes. All right, she will use her crossbow then, and let's see if it hits. 14 to hit.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
All right.
That is a
End
miss.
of turn. All right, end of turn.
All right, Zenlin.
Yeah, Zenlin, seeing that there's only one enemy and Grug is running away, he's gonna move closer. I think that's about 30. And he's just gonna throw a mind sliver at this guy as he just kind of locks eyes and kind of shoots out a mental blast into his mind.
All right,
and I
a mind
believe
sliver,
I
you
need
said?
Yeah, I think it's an intelligence save.
I believe you are correct.
And it's a 15.
It does save against the mind sliver.
Okay, then nothing, I
Does
believe,
it
because it's
no,
a cantrip.
cantrip.
Yeah, nothing. So nothing happens, and he's just gonna turn and be like, Jolly, are you okay? That looked like it hurt. And that'll be his turn.
All right. That'll go to the caster. Who is going to reach out, not touching the crystal this time, and attempt to lay a hand on Kokola's forehead. Kokola is going to make a melee spell attack against you. Wisdom saving throw if it hits. All right, that is a 15.
I'm going to swat his hand away and say, consent is key. Because that misses.
All right. All right, wonderful. As you swat his hand away, he looks at the crystal, looks at you, looks out at everyone here, and lays his hands flat upon the ground, bowing his head in surrender. Jolly.
So I maintain concentration, and I encourage Grug. I'm like, Grug, I know you have the talent. You just gotta wrap him up, and you just gotta whisper that beautiful, beautiful poem in his ear for, I don't know, 8 hours, if that's how long it takes, and just squeeze him tight so he feels it, so he understands the emotion that you have in this poem. Squeeze him tight.
All right.
If it takes 8 hours, it takes 8 hours, but you just keep repeating that sweet, sweet poem, and you love him, and you squeeze him, and you pet him.
All right.
And then I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
All right.
For
Casting that
15
at a
points.
3rd level.
Yep.
All right.
And
All right.
that's it.
All right, Reznor.
So Reznor's gonna look back at Jolly and ask, "Is the big one a friend of yours?"
He's just a rare talent. Yes, I think we should protect that kind of talent at all costs. We should just move on, do our thing, and leave them be.
All right. With that, Reznor will end his rage. He'll look really disappointed at Grug that he doesn't get to fight him, and then
All
he'll
right.
just end his rage.
With that, we will be making Brian's first death saving throw. And Grug's second unarmed attack against him. As Grug picks Brian up and embraces him, squeezing him, Reznor, you can, in your shifted form, you can hear the cracking of the bones. And all of you can see the blood drip off of the front of Grug as Brian Lindstrom is no more.
Seems like the last stop for Bran.
And Grug Grug continues to whisper violent, debauched poetry to this corpse.
For 8 hours.
One of you has the surrender offered to you of a Knoll mage. And Boar stands there looking a bit in awe and very afraid. We will be exiting initiative.
I would like to do non-lethal damage to that little knoll in front of me. I just want to knock him out. Just like at the butt of my rapier, knock him on the forehead. So he is.
Yeah, he's got 2 hit points left. He's surrendered. You coup de grace him unconscious.
I just don't trust his crystal magic shenanigans.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
you see as you knock him out, the crystal is no longer hovering in front of him, but collapses to the ground inert.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and toss it over to Zenlin.
yes, Zenlin likes that. He was coming to grab it.
I'm going to toss it to you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Jolly, you're kind of
As
scary.
One second. As you pick it up, Coca-Cola, you feel a surge of power through your dragon mark, and
Oh,
that electric feeling leaves you the second it leaves your fingers as you toss it over to Zenlin.
yeah, I definitely am tossing it. I don't like that kind of power in my hands.
Oh.
I like it, but I don't like it. That's why I don't like it, is because I do like it. I want to get that out of here. I'm going to toss it to Zenlin. I'm going to say, you know what? You were right. Just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're better.
Thanks. I don't think I have anything to investigate. So maybe we will work together out there on our own. We did that pretty well.
We did do that pretty well, didn't we?
Resner will come back to the table, kind of defeated looking, and be like, I thought he was going to be stronger.
I don't want to touch the crystal, but I'll help investigate it.
Boar steps forward and begins to look at the bodies all around. You said you guys want to investigate, but anyone who's checking things out, make me an investigation check, or if you want to give someone else the help action while they look, go for it.
I'll give the help action.
I'll assess someone, yeah.
I'm having awesome luck with these dice today. All right. I got a dirty 20 for an investigation.
All right, so we have a dirty 20, and we had 2 help actions. So, Jillian, if you want to go ahead and roll yours at advantage too, you can.
Roll again, Shen. You're muted, bestie.
So 20. What's Coca-Cola?
First thing Cocola's looking for is any house identifying insignias, because we know Boar is a member of a house, also left it. So I want to know if any of these creatures are associated with, maybe the house that he left or anything like that. And second, spare change.
All right. Yeah, you begin going through everyone's pockets over here. None of them have any house insignia or anything on them, and they have very little money as well. You do find, however, a large amount of paper slips in the pockets of the unconscious mage. With that 20 investigation check, I'll say you can't recognize the language and read it, but you do recognize the format, and these look like promissory notes, like paper money.
Okay. I am our party treasurer because I'm not that kind of rogue.
You do also find that each of them, while none of them have a dragon mark, each of them does share a mark in the form of a tattoo just above their right rib cage of 4 claws slashing down and around to the back of the spine.
Interesting. Is it something that we would automatically know, or would it need to be like a recall check, like a history?
I would say it would need to be a history check.
Yes, I'm very good at that. I am successfully a historian in my dreams with a 7.
These are all gnolls, which aren't native to Sharn. You know, there's a large diaspora of the more monstrous races in the Undercity, so it could be a cultural marking.
I got a 17 history. I do travel.
Yeah, you've done some travel, and you've done some shady work too. You don't recognize this specifically, but you recognize this style. And it looks like this is a gang marking of some sort.
I wouldn't say shady. I would say that I believe in, that I like to walk amongst all socioeconomic backgrounds.
Yeah, you're well connected.
Yes, I like that. Well connected.
Yeah, you've seen not this marking, but markings similar to this, and they're usually some form of gang tattoo or gang marking. Could be a mark of a clan, could be an actual criminal gang. You're uncertain, but you do know that the fact you haven't seen this one in particular before is also concerning.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
How good of a relationship would Coca-Cola and House Kundarak have with the city guard?
I would say House Kundarak has a very good relationship with the city guard professionally, but the personal relationship lacks heavily.
Okay.
So a lot of the warding of Sharn in ages past was done by House Kundarak, and if something does need updated, they'll call on Kundarak, but it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. It's like having a good AC repairman.
Okay. I'm curious because I don't want to just leave these bodies lay. There's still one conscious. So my thought was, because they were trying to rob our business partner, that we could turn them over to local authorities. So that way, when we come back to Sharn, there's not wanted posters with our faces on them.
Well,
you think that could be done if you were able to sell your story well enough.
I might be able to just do a little message to the police, and they'll come across the scene, and if they were to just come to the conclusion that Grug killed everyone or the gnolls were attacking the halfling, I mean, do we really need to get that involved, or can I just send maybe a little hotline tip?
Hey, whatever works.
So you would definitely be able to, if you saw a garden passing, message them and leave the tip. But the message spell wouldn't let you just, send something off from here to find a guard somewhere.
Fair.
You require line of sight. But they wouldn't know it was you necessarily who was sending the message.
Would I know people in the town guard? Probably yes.
You would definitely know some people in the town guard. Tell you what, go ahead and make me a luck check to see how well you know someone in the town guard. Okay. I'm going to say if you want them to be willing to, speed the investigation along in a way that benefits you, I need you to make this with disadvantage. So just
I have message.
Yeah.
I have sending, third level.
Okay.
So I can send 25 word message to a creature with whom I'm familiar. So if I know someone in the town guard, I could send them this.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do. Rough scene on the bridge. Gnolls, halfling, ogre, dead bodies. I think that's under 25 words.
That's under 10. I think you're at 11, or no, you're 11. Is that all you want to say?
Yep, that's all I want to say.
All right.
I think we should move on.
Perfect. And then we need to go hasta la bye-bye ASAP.
Yeah. So you all gather your things. Are you? Yeah, you're just getting out of here. Anybody like you're rushing out as quick as you can?
We're gonna go get that extra cash, right?
Yeah, from Boar. Yeah. Boar had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boar is still with you here.
Yep.
Boar, do you still think your old business partners aren't going to get violent with you? You sure you don't want to come out of town with us?
He can't get violent anymore. My goodness.
Your funeral, man.
He's an ex-business partner.
Yes, an ex-business
partner.
Yeah, late. That'd be a very good way to put it. Yes. Well, you've more than earned the upfront fee already. And he just holds the bag out and drops it in the hands of whoever's closest. Be seeing you. And he hurries off past Grug in the direction of his offices.
Okay. Good. So we're square. Let's head out of town.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do we have Beep with us?
You do have Beep with you. Beep has been...
okay.
Beep has been invisibly behind... Not actually invisibly, but in the cloud behind Reznor this whole time. I'm not going to make you guys keep track of Beep in combat.
Okay.
Perfect.
Reznor will pick up Beep.
All right, so we'll follow Jolly. Jolly's going to take us on his projected path, I think.
Yeah. Are you trying to get away from here without being seen? Are you just going? Are you trying to be sneaky? You trying to be fast? You trying to be a little bit of both?
Probably a little bit of both. Question mark.
I would say hide in plain sight. You know, like be casual. We're off on a trip. We don't say too many words to too many people, but we move with purpose. We look like we know where we're going. We don't look like we're running from anything.
That works.
All right. Then I'm going to say go ahead and make me a group stealth check. We're looking for 3 passes out of 5.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
And I'll take any absurdly high passes into account as well.
I've got a 19.
All right, looks like our lowest check.
15.
Yep, we have 25,
17.
15, 17, and 19. All right. You come off of this marketway here as the sun is still rising above the city in the early hours of dawn. And slip into the crowds, the hustle and bustle of Sharn, believing yourselves unseen. Zenlin, you start to step away, just walking out as you're walking out and about as you normally would, before realizing you have a distinctive appearance, and you pull your hood up, fade into the crowd a little bit more, and you make your way back to the first level of Sharn. From here, you're able to head over to the docks, make one last check-in at the inn if you'd like. You can head out to the exit and begin making your way across the continent. Or if there's any more preparations you all want to do, you have time.
Can I spend sorcery points to make spell slots while we're walking?
Yep, all cool with me.
Okay.
Yeah, when we're not in initiative order, you can do anything that takes you less than a minute, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Anything that can be done in terms of like rounds, you
Right.
do it. Just let me know you're doing it.
Okay.
All right. What is your move?
Let's head east towards the road.
All right. Anyone else have anything they'd like to do before you head out?
Yes,
All
I
right.
do. If that's okay. On the way out, I would
Yeah,
like to
that's
hit
perfect.
like there's like a little porter or mailboxes or something. I just want to send like a small parchment, just probably like about this big, with a note on it, code word, in thieves' camp, back to my mother, just to let her know that it'll be very short, like leaving Sharn Zilspar. Like, that's it.
All right. Yeah. You jot this note down while you're writing, and I'm just going to ask for a sleight of hand, and anyone in the group who wants to try to perceive this can. Just give me a sleight of
20.
hand while you're if you're trying to like hide dropping it off or anything.
Yep, I got a 21.
All right. Yep. All right, and you send your letter off and head out of the gates of Sharn onto the yet unlaid road before you. You quickly make your way across the bit of plain forest. Beep following behind you. Almost a metronome like beep every few seconds, as it seems to be marking the way that it will trace behind itself to lay the rail while you rest. Go ahead and give me a survival check, either any one person or a group survival, your choice. Just to lay your path here through the King's Forest, through the edges of the King's Forest, down to Zilspar.
Resnor, look at you.
20.
Lesnar with a dirty 20.
Ain't
I got
nothing
an 8.
dirty about a 20.
All right. Yeah, you lay a fairly uneventful path for your first day of travel, making it about a quarter of the way to Zilspar before you feel the need to stop and rest. And you're able to find a little glade just backed by the trees, tucked away from the road that lays south of you, where you think it'd be safe to set up camp for the night.
That air. Oof. This is a nice little spot. Nice little spot.
Yeah.
I agree.
And fresh air is nice.
It's definitely a change for those of you who don't spend. It's definitely a change for those of you who've been living in and with the houses for the past few years, especially you, Jillian, having been spending most of your time in the Undercity with stale air filling your lungs. It's peaceful here. And though not quiet, the noises are much less raucous than the city dwellers among you are used to. Quieter than you're
Looking
used
at-
to as well, Jolly, with the train not running with your feet.
It's true. Get used to that rocking. I sleep better on a train. It's that little rock. The chugga chugga. But this is nice.
It's 13 ticks on the map counter from Sharn to Zilspar. How many do you think that we get? How far from Sharn to Zilspar do you think, in terms of those ticks on the map, that we make it in one day's travel?
Today you make it about. Today you've made it about 3 ticks. You estimate that tomorrow, with your full day dedicated to travel and not having any exercise or anything beforehand, you'll probably be able to make it 4 to 5.
So we're pretty near to
So
the
it's
road.
3 to 4 days travel to Zilspar.
Yeah, that's no problem. I
the
just
road
was
is
curious.
just to your south.
Yeah, where we're ending up
Yeah,
and such.
you're at the you're just north of the 3rd tick.
Okay,
Just off the road.
Yeah.
just off the road.
Little stealth camping.
And as you set up your campsite, Beep sits in the center and looks around at all of you. Beep, beep, beep. Anyone who wants to go ahead and make an insight for me at disadvantage. You can also make a knowledge arcana at a regular roll.
Resnor with a 5.
I got a 18 with disadvantage.
Nice.
Is there anything musical about
Damn.
it? I do. I do have a pan flute. Could I replicate it?
16
Give me a performance
arcana.
check. Sure. All right.
I mean, this could be the long game. Trying to learn the cadence, the melody. Wouldn't necessarily recognize it right away, but maybe over time.
Yeah.
Dude,
Go
I
ahead
do-
and just give me that
it's-
performance.
I don't think I got it. It's a
Yeah,
little rusty.
you're giving it a shot, but it's just not quite there. But with the combination of your knowledge of magical constructions, Zemlin, and your insight into varied beings of many creeds and languages, Jillian, you're able to figure out that Beep is asking permission to go begin laying tracks for the night.
Oh, the little guy just wants
And
to
you see
lay the tracks, guys.
a little blinking red button on the back of his head that you think you could press to allow him to begin.
Zenlano. Go for it, Jillian.
Poke. She pokes the red button.
Boop, boop. And the bottom of Beep drops out and separates and begins laying tracks from right where it is directly back to Sharn where you came from, following your path exactly.
Cute little guy.
How far back on our path do we think he's gonna go?
You are unsure. You started to notice the metronome like beep after you were away from the road that was already
Okay. Okay, that's good.
So until you crossed the large roads there, he didn't
Okay.
start beeping.
So we're putting flags out, right, as we go. Is that my understanding of?
Doesn't it
kind
just
of.
track it?
Kind of. Beep is like putting his own little construct flags out by taking pictures of the land, basically. He's tracking your path. So where you step is a flag, basically.
Love it.
That's good to know.
Beep does have some level of sentience, so it's not gonna, curve around and do little loop-de-loops every time you guys make a turn.
It should.
That would be an interesting track and bad for business.
Best train ride ever. It's like a roller coaster.
Like a
If the
roller
tr- Yeah, except for the fact that if the train was more than a person long, it would crash into itself.
Oh, that would be absolutely entertaining. Maybe when we retire from laying train tracks, we can build roller coasters with beeps. That's a good idea. We'll make
There you go.
the Cedar Point of this continent.
Cedar Point of Corvair.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. And yeah, you all get ready to rest for the evening. The sun's not quite beginning to set yet. You set out pretty early. It's probably mid-evening, like early to mid-evening, 5 to 6 o'clock. And you're in a pretty safe area. The King's Forest is patrolled often by rangers of all sorts, making sure that no roving bands are building up in there. So you think it'd be safe to light a fire if you wanted or anything.
Okay.
What's everyone's evening look like?
Cleaning knoll blood off my blades because it smells like wet dog.
You take your blades and clean them. You've got a little bit of fur stuck in the blood, and it truly is an awful smell.
Yeah. It stinks like wet dog. I don't like it. My mother was a neat freak. She didn't want animals in the house, so that smell, it just immediately hits you when you're not used to it.
Yeah.
And I'll be hanging out with my friend Jillian, drinking tea or something.
Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Jillian would one by one check with everyone and see if they need wounds bound, cleaned, medicine.
Yeah. Does anyone take Jillian up on her offer of aid?
Zenlin thanks her, but he's mostly got surface wounds. He'll probably be okay in a day or two.
Resner
All
also declined, even though he's got pretty nice wounds.
All right.
I grab my.
What is Resnor up to this evening?
Okay.
Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Resnor might actually use his Outlander background. He's gonna look for some fresh small game in the area.
Yeah, definitely. You look around and try to find some small game. You're able to find a small warren of rabbits. It looks like the young have just reached the point where they're grown enough that they could make a meal, as well as their mother.
Yeah, Resnor's gonna catch as many of his. Oh, sorry.
You are able to catch the rabbits and bring them back and you bring back enough food to feed all members of your party. Jolly, there was something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I get the my string instrument out, and I start plucking away a little bit, and I look at everyone and I say, I was thinking about that poet, Grug, and just got me thinking about him, and You think you're going to live your life alone in darkness and seclusion. I know, Grug. You've been out there and you tried to mix with those animals and it just left you full of humiliated confusion. So you stagger back home and you wait for nothing. The solitary refinement of your room spits you back out onto the street, and now you're desperate and in need of human contact. And then you meet me. And your whole world changes. Because everything I say is everything you've wanted to hear. So you drop all your defenses and you drop all your fears and you trust me completely. Because I'm perfect in every way. And I make you feel so strong and so powerful inside. You're so lucky. But your ego obscures reality. And you never bothered to wonder why things are going so well. You want to know why, Grug? Because I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I'll tear your mind out and I'll burn your soul. I'll turn you into me because I'm a liar. You see, I'll hide behind a smile and understanding eyes, and I'll tell you things that you already know, so you can say that I identify with you so much. And all the time that you are needing me is just the time I'm bleeding you. See, don't you get it yet? I'll come to you like an affliction, but I'll leave you like an addiction. And you'll never forget me. And you want to know why? Because I'm a liar.
And as Jolly finishes this speech, we're going to cut back to Sharn quick, where we see Grug clapped in irons, chained to a wall in the dungeon of the city guard for the slaughter of 4 citizens. Still covered in the blood of his old boss. And Jolly is sitting there with his lovely lyre, guitar, lute.
Liar.
Lyre. Yeah. And you can hear Beep trundling off into the distance. Beep, 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 beep. What's Zenlin doing this evening?
Starting out, Zenlin is probably hanging out and like trying to investigate that crystal and see what it is. Is it like an arcane focus? Is it a magic enhancer? He was very curious by floaty crystal. And then we'll be broken out of that study and investigation by Jolly's song, and we'll just turn and be like, remind me not to get on your bad side.
I don't think you have a bad side.
But you do, and I want to.
You're a liar. You said it yourself.
So go ahead.
Molly. You're a liar.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check, Zenlin. Taking your time to look over this crystal.
Sure, that's an 8. Not much tonight.
That's an 8. There's something about the way it refracted those magical energies that intrigues you, but you know that this would be a very dangerous focus to use if you used it improperly. It could work as an arcane focus, but it would certainly require control.
Okay.
Would you like to attune to it over the course of this rest?
I don't think he's going to right now, if he figures that out kind of looking at it, but he's going to keep like studying it over the nights when we're resting and see if he can't figure out more about it to get that control, because
yeah, definitely.
Floating crystal.
Definitely. Would anyone else like to look at the crystal while Zenlin's holding it, if he'll let them.
I will offer assistance to anybody that wants to look it over.
You can assist Zenlin on that Arcana check as well. I'll let you give a help action.
Yeah, Zenlin, I'll assist you.
Sure. Second set of eyes is always useful. That was a great assist, because that's a nat 20 for a 23.
Ooh, yeah. I will high five you.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Or whatever those union posters in the break rooms.
Kokola, you start to peer at this, and I think maybe your assistance in identifying it, do you think it might take the form of telling Zenlin what you felt when you touched it?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think you keep that to yourself?
Oh no, I would tell him because I like it, but I don't at the same time. So you keep that fancy, sparkly power inflicting crystal.
Yeah. Zenlin, you're able to draw the comparison or draw the connection there pretty easily, and are able to recognize this as some form of dragon shard. Pieces of the moons or planet here in Eberron that are charged with great magical power. Many of them have different effects, some enhancing dragon marks, some enhancing spells, some aiding in the binding of other creatures, such as those you would be most familiar with, Jolly, those used to bind elementals to the lightning rail. And some with more esoteric and strange provenance and effect.
That's kind of curious. With that information, this could be a dragon shard. I wonder how a gnoll came across it.
And it's large for a dragon shard too. Like it's about the size of your forearm, Zenlin.
Okay. Is there roughly how much would you say it weighs?
I'd say it weighs about 5 pounds.
Okay.
It is large but light for a crystal.
It's a big one too. Odd.
And in the hands of no.
Yeah, it doesn't float above your hands or anything either.
Yeah. I assume knowing it's a dragon shard, Zenlin can figure out he would have to attune to it in order to do anything with it.
Yeah.
That might be useful, but it's kind of scary. Not sure I could handle it right now. Do you want to give it a try, Jolly, since you're, perfect?
See, I'm definitely not perfect. I definitely let Grug think I might be perfect for him. I let him see himself in me.
Fair enough. Just figured I'd offer if I'm not going to make use of it.
I definitely think we should hold on to it, and maybe you want to at some point, but not from me.
Definitely agree.
So in terms of
all right,
listing items specifically, Chip, is it Eberron or Kyber Dragon Shard?
Ooh.
You are uncertain. So there are, as I said, multiple types of Dragon Shard. There are Eberron, there are Kyber, and then there are some that are of uncertain provenance that may have been altered in some way or come from a different source than the other ones. There are also Siberi's Dragon Shards.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting to know.
This doesn't quite fit the profile for any of them. It looks most like a Kyber Dragon Shard, but it's just not quite right.
Interesting.
And I'll say on that nat 20, Kyber Dragon Shards are the ones most often used for binding.
Okay.
Used for binding, meaning somebody lives inside of it. So if we rub it 3 times, we get some wishes, or more like bind them to this plane, you can't go anywhere sort of binding.
I believe it's that one.
Okay. That's
It's a
good to
little bit
know.
of both,
I mean,
It's a little bit
magic's
of
not
both.
really. Not
It has a binding property. Yeah, it has a binding property that can be used multiple ways.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Who knows? Maybe someone in Zilspa can tell us specifically what it does. Or maybe there's some kind of spell that can do that.
Yes. A spell would be helpful, wouldn't it? Before we take a long rest, I would like to ward our campsite with the alarm spell. So as long as everybody's within like a 20-foot cube space, it'd be perfect.
Zenlin will also
describe
mention
what your
that...
activation of your dragon mark looks like to me.
So Coca-Cola carries on her side a dagger that the handle, it looks very similar to a key, and you wouldn't probably realize it wasn't a giant key until it was hitting you in the face. And so she would pull that key off of her side and touch it to her dragon mark, and when she does, it would be just like this ripple would kind of come out, and you would feel just like a little tingly, kind of how you feel when you drink a good beer in the back of your throat, tingly, and it would go through the entire campsite. And after that, it would just be a very quick, like, sort of thing, and then she'd put it away and be done.
Yeah. As you touch the key to your dragon mark and send this ripple of feeling out, magic passing through everyone. Jillian, you specifically get a feeling of safety as this passes through, and it tingles in your dragon mark as well. This is a phenomenon you're familiar with having other houses' dragon marks activated near you. But it does feel a bit stronger than you're used to. Most people who are using their dragon marks on the daily are using their leased properties often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so all of you would feel that magic kind of resonate through you, and it would be out to the edges of our camp, and you would be able to come and go through the warding lines, but nobody else or anything else would be able to pass through without some obnoxious fire siren-like bells.
All right. And you all, do you set up a watch system? Do you all bed down as the night grows later? Or are we trusting in the alarm?
We can set a watch. Zenlin will mention that he doesn't need that much sleep, and that he'll probably be up for at least 2 or 3 extra hours before he goes to sleep, quote, air quotes.
Okay.
But I can definitely wake someone up when I do go down.
I immediately just say, awesome, thanks, and I go to sleep immediately.
Yep.
I'll get up for second watch because Coca-Cola gets up early anyway. So I'll do that.
All right.
I'll take my nap after 11sies.
All right. Those of you who aren't a dwarf, or actually, I guess Zenlin and Reznor, you both realize that a full day's marching will not have time for a nap after 11sies. It might not even have time for 11sies unless you're eating on the road.
Oh no.
We're bound to come through some farmer's garden with cabbages at some point.
I hope not. I don't want to run a railroad track through someone's farm.
I didn't say we were going to run a railroad track through their farm. I'm just saying I'm going to run Cocola's fingers through their farm on the way by. That's all.
Reznor is also a fan of 11 feet.
Hey, she's not that kind of rogue, people.
Yeah.
I'm
apparently.
She just steals from the poor and gives to herself.
It's there's nuance there.
No. It's just,
Sorry, I'm asleep.
you are asleep. I didn't think I wouldn't leave the farmer some change for cabbages or apples or something. There's got to be some sort of bearing tree or bush or something along the way that could make for a snack.
Oh, certainly.
And Beep is
and-
probably big enough that I can take my 11sies nap on his back while we're traveling. And my friends
Beep.
won't mind if they keep working and I take a nap.
Beep does have a strength score of 4, so Beep can
Oof.
carry
Beep's weaker than Zenlin.
60
and that's saying
pounds.
something.
Beep can carry 60 pounds. Oh no, Beep's small. Beep can carry 60 pounds.
I think my gear weighs more than 60 pounds. Okay, so I'm not taking a nap on Beep, but it was the sentiment that mattered.
Yeah. Beep might be able to drag you.
Yeah, just Beep dragging me along, just hitting my head on every rock and branch that goes boing, boing. Yes, that's exactly the most comfortable nap I've ever taken in my life.
But yeah, so Zenlin, go ahead and give me a perception check for your first watch. Whoever's taking second, go ahead and roll yours too, just to have it ready for me.
Sure. 16 for Zenlin.
All right.
Can I take my passive?
Yes.
My passive is 19.
All right. Nothing threatens you this night. You are close to the road, not in the forest proper, but you have the trees up against your back to provide some cover. And your campsite is well lit by the fire, warning off any stray predators that may have stumbled upon you otherwise. It is a safe night's rest. And you awaken, and those of you who are asleep awaken in the morning to the sound of Beep arriving back and letting out a triumphant beep, 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 beep.
Yes, we're very impressed. Good job, Beep.
What do you give a
Beep
robot?
Sort of zips back. Beep sort of zips back and forth on the rail he's laid behind him.
It's like
And
a
that
couple
is where we will close our,
I just want to know if a couple
and that
squirts
is where
from
we will close our show for tonight.
All right, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Close the
Beep
show.
would love that.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
Oh,
is a
sorry.
couple
Yeah,
of squirts
Beep would love that.
the equivalent to like a dog treat for your puppy for Beep?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. All right. We're not going to run a raid because I'm still locked out of Twitch. So we'll see everybody Monday. If Alabama cooperates, because it's been 2 Mondays in a row, I've had either no power or no internet. So we'll see how this goes. So fun times. Go ahead and do your
Yep.
table thing, Chippy.
All right. Well, I've been Chipper, your GM. It's been a pleasure to see you. I'll see most of the people here and hopefully all of our viewers on Monday for the Grim Hollow campaign, Delirium. And let's go ahead and get the rest of our party introduced here. Jolly?
Shout out Henry Rollins for the inspiration for Liar tonight. So I think it fit with Grug. You know, maybe he'll entertain the folks in prison.
Poor boy. He just wanted to be scary and do his poetry.
He'll get that he'll get that chance in prison.
All right. Moving down the line. Huli, you want to go last, or you want to go ahead and just go now?
I'll go last.
All right. Moving down the line to Zenlin.
Howdy, I am Don or New Drone or Zenlin or Brill on Mondays. So come check us out there. Other than that, we're not really creating a bunch. I do other D&Ds all the time, but most of those are not streamed.
Fair stuff.
All right. Let's bring it on down to Reznor.
Hello, my name is Reznor. Thanks for being here tonight. You can also catch me on Mondays playing Harnock.
All right. Jillian.
Hi, this is Shen. I play Jillian, and I just play D&D here on with Heroes and Hooligans.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and last but never least, Huli.
Hi, friends. I'm Huli. I play games, run games, and produce games here at Heroes and Hooligans. Currently, we have a pretty short schedule. We have our Monday night Delirium Grim Hollow game at 7:30 Central, and then our Thursday night Eberron game with Chipper here at 6:30 Central. So that's what we've got kind of going on right now. Some new things coming up in the future. I've got some Awfully Queer Heroes things coming down the pipe. We're going to run a whole Rescue Rainbow City campaign at some point, so that'll be coming up soon. And aside from that, we're going to shout out to Queens Court Games, who is getting ready to go to New Jersey Webfest for their Vampire the Masquerade All-Night Society podcast and several things. Both Aubrey and Laura over there have nominations individually, aside from the entire show being up for some stuff. So go by, give them a check out, and we'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.